Sir, in the second segment here, you talk about 3 C's. Can you cover that?
Absolutely. 3 C's are complain, compare, and conceal.
Complain, compare, conceal.
Human nature. We complain about what's wrong. You know, my favorite sports team didn't win.
Right.
My car broke down. My husband's not treating me right. My wife's not treating me right. The kids won't do their homework. The preacher is off kilter. He's doing something we don't agree with. The government is wrong. Don't they understand that we need help?
Right.
We will complain about what's wrong. I heard an example earlier. It says a teacher stood at a board and she said 1 + 1 = 2. No one said anything. And she said 10 + 10 = 20. No one said anything. She said 3 × 3 = 9. No one said anything. She said 5 - 4 is 7. I said no. She said 8 × 8 is 52. No.
Right.
She said 1 × 5 is 15. No, what's wrong with you, teacher? She said, well, when I gave you all the right answers and did all the right math, you didn't say anything.
There's no response.
No response. When I put something down that you think or know is wrong, you raise up. We complain about what's wrong. When you do something right, don't expect someone to pat you on the back. Don't expect someone to say you're doing a good job. Continue. Do it anyway. Do a good job anyway. Do the right thing anyway. My daughter, let me share with you. She was bullied when she was in elementary school. And she was a very compliant child, a very beautiful girl, and she'd never harm or flee. And kids would pick on her and they thought her kindness was weakness. Well, she'd come home and she'd tell us, and I finally got tired of it. So I enrolled her in a martial arts course.
Yes.
I said, you're going to protect yourself. And martial arts is not about defending yourself. Dr. Brooks, what are you saying? You taught the little girl to fight and beat up folk? No, martial arts is about discipline.
Discipline.
It's about discipline. That's the main focus. You ask one of my mentors, Dr. Ruben West, he's a master martial artist. It's not about fighting and beating up folk like Bruce Lee. It's about being disciplined, having the ability to do it, but not using it. I must digress very quickly. What is your strongest power? What is your strongest power? Power that you don't have to use. And that's what martial arts is. If I'm a master martial artist, Dr. Harold, I know I can break bricks and boards and kick anyone that gets in my way. But my greatest power is not having to do anything. That's my greatest power. And so, in complaining, we must understand we have to use our greatest power. When somebody does something wrong, you let them know. When they do it right, you let them know. The definition in martial arts, the teacher told them, and that's where I wanted to take you, is she taught my daughter the definition of integrity.
Okay.
Do you know what the definition of integrity that she taught? Perhaps, perhaps not. Let me share it with you. For the day you won't be able to make that statement anymore, you'll know. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's looking. And she taught that to the kids, and the parents are sitting in the audience. She really taught it to the parents.
Yes.
Doing the right thing even when no one's looking. That's integrity. Not doing the right thing when somebody's looking, that's easy. You know, if I'm supposed to be an upstanding guy and I don't drink, and I said I don't drink, then and you see me drink, oh, that's not good. But I see you over there, I'm not going to drink.
Right.
I go in my house and drink, or smoke, or curse, or do any number of things that you know would be socially incorrect. But if I do the right thing, even when no one's looking, no one could ever catch me, no one could ever point a finger, that's integrity. And that's what we are talking about here on complaining. Have integrity. Comparing. His house is better than my house, so why should I
Yes.
care? His job's better than my job. Why should I care? They live in a better country than I live in. Let me out. Do you know what I found out why a lot of countries won't give visas to their students to study in other countries? They're afraid they won't come back.
Right.
Why are they afraid they won't come back? I'm glad you asked. Because that country hasn't done anything to instill the sense of pride, the sense of caring, the sense of loyalty that we talked about in chapter 1. Do you see how they now integrate? See, chapter 1 talks about caring, loyalty, pride. Chapter 2 says comparing. In order to get rid of the comparing creature, we must understand chapter 1. They flow into each other. They're not two separate parts. They're one part of the same. Don't compare yourself to anyone. There's only one you. You can be the best you, or you can be a second-class me. What do you choose? What do you choose?
And the final C is the conceal.
Concealing. We've heard of the ostrich sticking his head in the sand.
Yeah.
Don't want to know what's going on. I'm not trying to hear that. Da, 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 da. No. We say that I'm going to turn a blind eye towards it. If it happens, I'm going to act like I don't know about it.
Right.
Well, that's not helping the problem. That's perpetuating the problem. For history says what we fail to learn from, what we fail to understand, we're destined to repeat.
Wow.
And so why are we in the mess we're in today? In every country on this green earth, this 25% of dirt, I call it dirt, you may call it land. 25% of this dirt that we occupy because we want to not own up to the fact that it has problems, it has warts. For call a spade a spade. Make sure that you understand that your country is not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. My family is not perfect. But we can work towards that goal. And the first step is accepting where we are. The second step is moving forward towards where we want to be.
Okay.
The third step is getting there. And when we get there, there'll be another goal to move towards. For it's not a destination, it's a journey.
Right.
One of these things that I found out in chapter 2 that I want to share with you is that man was never meant to retire. We work for retirement. The golden age.
Yeah.
That's a man-made thing to get those of us who've gotten some years behind us, some wisdom behind us, to get us out of the way. Now we're meant to work till we drop,
Right.
till we can't work anymore. How do you say that? Go back and look at some of the historical accounts. Moses lived to 120 years old. Methuselah lived to 999 years old. Abraham had a child at 90 years old. At 100, and Sarah was 90. Is that so unfathomable? No, I submit to you, no. Miracles happen today. They happen every day. You know what we need to do? Stop the insanity. Stop doing the same thing that we've always done.
Right.
The same way, the way we've always done.
Right.
And we want change. If you do that, you will affect meaningful change. Meaningful change. Let me
You
just
stress on meaningful.
meaningful. Let me read 2 sentences for you.
Yes.
We conceal the fact that we are not willing to do anything to affect change. That's one way. We conceal the fact that we are not willing to do anything to affect meaningful change. Meaningful change takes on a whole new life. It's something that you will become ingrained with. It's something that will become a purpose, a why, a precept, a concept for you. It's something that you'll do no matter what. You'll hear me say that time and time again. No matter what. Meaningful change is how laws are passed for the good, for the greater good. Whether they're civil laws, or constitutional laws, or laws for restaurants, or laws for no smoking, or laws for babies to get better health care. Meaningful change. That's what you want. That's what I want. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I don't think so. Because I know you too well. And I know that you want the same thing I want. And that's what's best for our family, what's best for ourselves, what's best for our tribes, what's best for our communities, what's best for our country. And ultimately, what's best for our world. For if we operate in this realm, we'll stop fighting. We'll understand there's really nothing to fight about. Fighting, I'm going to give you a technical term, fighting is silly.
I love your technical terms.
So that's what chapter 2 is all about.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Thank you, Dr. Brooks, for sitting here, explaining this to me and our audience. Whether you're in a paid session or a portion of this is being broadcast on YouTube as a bonus, we're happy to have you here. And in the first chapter, we talk about what is patriotism. We're here in the second segment, second chapter, and you went into detail about nationalism. And then the very next chapter, we're gonna go into why you should be a patriot.
I can't wait.
Wow, you want to find out why? I do too. So we'll see you in the next one.
See you there.